poem, A River and a City, couldn't fit better than this, written by master Necip Fazıl Kısakürek. In the Sakarya folk song, both the character of the town and the Sakarya River, named after the city, leave themselves to the flow of water. Being accounted as the milestone of the national struggle, Sakarya pitched battle took place at the banks of this river. This river, flowing in curls, had been witnessed to the war of existence of a nation. Sakarya is the most beautiful city in the region, situated on a green plain, turned its back to the Black Sea and its face to the Sakarya River, with the Lake Sabancı on one side and the wild Samanlı Mountains on the other side. The rivers streaming down from the mountains, the lakes welcoming those rivers, and around these lakes, the forests of common beech, mountain pine, common European ash, white spruce and oak trees. Nature is so generous here for Sakarya that one cannot get satisfied with watching or living on these lands. Due to this nice geography, the city was in the center of interest for ages. First to leave their traces were the Hittites, and then the Byzantines constructed the well-known Justinianus Bridge. The bridge, constructed in 551 AD, had been the symbol of the city for many years. During the Seljuk period, it was the beaten track for Anatolia, Armenians and the raiders. These plains was the spring where the jades of dervishes quenched their thirst. On their way to Istanbul was the hope for Anatolia during the War of Independence for those coming from the Balkans and the Caucasus. For the Ottoman Empire, Sakarya has exclusive importance. Osman Bey, during his crusade towards west, prioritized Sakarya vicinity and conquered Taraklı, Geyve, Akyazı, and Hendek regions. Most of the local community, being known as grocers today, are those dwelt here during those times. Being one of the first places where the Ottoman plain took root, Sakarya had witnessed very important events in later years. These heavenly forests were the lumber supply for ship construction during the reign of Sultan Selim, the Stern as he was called. This region was designated as the lumber supply for the master dock. The galleys, kaliyatas, frigates, used by the Ottomans in the conquests of the Mediterranean Sea and the Black Sea were all made of lumbers of this city. The city is one of the stops on the motorway between Anatolia and Istanbul. Since the Sakarya plain was a swamp and wetland until the Ottoman period, the travelers were not stopping by here and carry on their way to Anatolia over Sapanca, Geyve, Taraklı or to Istanbul. The other name of Sakarya, Adapazarı, was given after the market set up in the middle of the plain during this period. Today, Sakarya people mostly use Adapazarı as the name. Sakarya plain has many travelers, so many come and so many go. Sakarya River gives sap for all, The fertile plain offers the best fruits and vegetables. Lake Sapanca offers fishes to the visitors. Agriculture is the main source of income for Sakarya. 51% of the fertile lands can be cultivated. In the southern parts, fruits and vegetables are cultivated, whereas in the north, corn and hazelnuts. The city has well-known agricultural products all around Turkey: potato, corn, onion, melon, zucchini and hazelnut. Due to both the agricultural development and the closeness to Istanbul, the city is also developing industrially. Sakarya is one of the cities in Turkey with the largest industrial investments. The products produced here are being exported all around Turkey and the world, particularly to Istanbul. It is one of the best examples of transformation from the agricultural-focused economic structure to the industrialized structure. One of the steam engines of this transformation is the Sakarya University, which is among the leading universities in Turkey. The university has a great contribution to the city with its approximately 30,000 students and potent academic staff. Sakarya citizens and its fertile lands are generous enough to welcome each visitor through the same joy. During the history, anybody was neither excluded nor sent back from these lands. That's why Sakarya has always been the land of tribes. The city, during the weakened period of the Ottoman state, began turning into a city of immigrants in 1800s. At the end of the battle between the Ottomans and Russians, the Muslim Caucasian communities abandoned the Russian lands and migrated to Anatolia. Most of these immigrants dwelled in Sakarya. Through the population exchanges made after the Balkan Wars, the Balkan people were brought to these regions and settled in the Sakarya plain. People from all tribes of the Caucasus live in Sakarya. Abkhazians, Circassians, Georgians, Karachais, Tatars, Chechens, and many others. All live in harmony as they do in their traditional folk dances. There are some villages here maintaining the entire Caucasus traditions. The children are being raised in accordance with a respectful and deep-rooted Caucasian culture. Engagements, weddings, circumcision feasts, home visits are all being made according to those traditions experienced in the Caucasus. Sakarya is a model city harboring all colors and all sounds of Turkey. It is difficult to find such a city in which the cultural diversity, the will of living together is such high, and where different identities live in harmony and peace. After the Caucasian immigrants, Balkan immigrants ranked the second place in Sakarya. After being obliged to abandon their homelands because of wars, they came to Sakarya and established their own villages. For nearly a century, Turkey has received migration from the Balkans. Most of the immigrants dwelled in Sakarya because Sakarya is similar to the geography they left behind. But above all, Sakarya and citizens welcomed all newcomers with their smiling faces. They offered them their own houses, own gardens, own yards. People of Sakarya get closer because of the earthquakes. In the earthquakes in 1968 and 1999, tens of thousands of people lost their lives. The city was almost completely destroyed. But the survivors supported each other. They revealed great solidarity and managed to stand up again. That's why the city, with its population of 750,000 people, became the symbol of the earthquake brotherhood. In our world, where everyone seeks for formulas for coexistence, Sakarya reveals a model landlordship in these terms. Today at the city center, on the famous boulevard or on the Chark Street, which is the largest street of the town, people born from the marriage of these races live on. This aspect of the city is similar to the Sakarya River. Several small streams flow together and compose Sakarya River and flow through the Black Sea. Similarly, Bosnians, Albanians, Manavs, Abkhazians, Circassians, Easterns, Westerns, those from the Black Sea region, those from the south, came together and formed Sakarya, which flows through the Turkish Sea in peace. the Ottomans settled in Sousse and its vicinity, began making their presence felt in the vicinity. One day, a group of soldiers came to Kargalı Plain. They had no food left. The soldiers moved through the villages in groups of 2 or 3, asking for food. The soldiers came nearby Sheikh İzzettin and told him about the situation. Sheikh İzzettin told the soldiers to greet their commander on behalf of him and said that he would visit them soon. After a while, Sheikh İzzettin Ismail went near the commander with a piece of bread, a covered bucket of yogurt and a bag of barley. The commander was surprised. Sheikh said, "You start eating and we will find a solution for it." A bag of barley was enough for the whole horses, and a piece of bread and a bucket of yogurt satisfied the entire army. Hearing about the incident, Orhan Gazi paid a visit to the Sheikh and asked him if he needed anything. The Sheikh asked him not to collect taxes in the areas where the sound of azan is being heard from the village. Following that day, the village of Sheikh İzzettin Ismail didn't pay any taxes until the very first years of the Republican period. The most well-known and best lake of the city, Sapanca, glamours everyone. Look what Evliya Çelebi says about Sapanca. The periphery of Lake Sapanca is 24 miles. There are 76 villages as big as towns surrounding the city. All the community has red faces for drinking water from this spring. It has many products, but there is no vineyards. The gardens are quite big. The melons and watermelons farmed around this lake can only be pulled by a donkey. On the lake, there